these guys. Oh, what a group. Well, you look at Davis. He's a ways down the ladder if the award was given out today, but there's still time in this season for him.
And it looks like we've got a really special rookie class this year. These are players who have already had a big impact.
Boy, at this point, it looks like it's going to be quite the race for Rookie of the Year. Still very early, but it looks like we've got several worthy candidates.
Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup. And for Toronto, Lowry and Powell, the guards. Siakam and Ibaka, the duo down low. And it's Anunoby in at the 3, the small forward. Here's Anunoby, picked away. Beyond the arc. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple. And last season, the first ever NBA Finals for the Toronto Raptors.
What a tremendous run, Greg. Think about it. In the Eastern Conference Finals, they go down 0-2 before winning 4 straight to close out the Bucks. And forget about the city of Toronto. The entire country of Canada was on fire for Raptors basketball. And how do they reward them? NBA championship.
Bulls shooting their first free throw tonight.
And just to mention, a season ago, they were very comfortable at the line, hitting about 78% of their free throws.
Whereas for some players now in their second seasons, you can tell just how big the jump is between that first year and their second year in the league.
I think, Kevin, it's probably the single biggest growth opportunity. One of the things that happens is the game slows down for second-year players. Very rarely do you see a guy take a step backwards. They're comfortable, they're more confident, and they know what to expect.
And the shot goes down.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
And I think defensively, that is not the way you want to start. Giving up high percentage looks, that doesn't typically end well.
So it's Toronto now. After Chicago picking up a basket just moments ago. Siakam misses.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over it.
Boy, great extension from Ibaka. His length always a factor.
Here's Cool Hands. Passes it to the bodyguard. Here's Cool Hands. 6 on the shot clock. Drains it from beyond the arc. He's got 6.
Good way to start this game. You want to get him rolling as early as possible.
And you know this, Greg. He's a guy who, if he gets hot, he can carry your offense for long stretches. Right now trying to get into a rhythm, but so far this quarter, boy, he is struggling to make anything go down.
Bulls shooting their second and third free throws tonight. And the first one at the line is good. Fred VanVleet is checked in for the Raptors. That's also good. So he hits both free throws.
This is about the last guy you want to send to the stripe right now. They keep fouling him, and he keeps making them.
So timeout called here, the first for Toronto. And going against Chicago, their first meeting of the season.
Yeah, and they came out with a W every time they played this squad last year. A stark contrast drawn between the conference's haves and have-nots.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
I caught up with Coach Nick Nurse. He said he honestly doesn't know what to expect. This is the first meeting between these two teams this year. So there'll be some feeling out at the beginning. But he told me sometimes that's when we're at our best. We're relying on our instincts and awareness at the offensive end. Kevin, we'll see if that holds true.
Thanks for the report, DA. Looking to get into a rhythm early, Greg, with their shooting.
And I think to get into a good flow, you need to get everyone involved, even if it's as a facilitator.
Well, I think that's where knowing where your teammates are on the floor at all times is critical, and then being willing to give them the ball at the appropriate time.
Building up a big early lead, they have taken charge of this game.
And they've been doing it largely at the offensive end, Greg. If the defense does not adjust, this could be a blowout.
Here's Siakam. He had a 30-point outing their last game against Cleveland. And there's a whistle. That goes on the bodyguard. That's his first foul. Here's Siakam.
And they've done a nice job controlling the defensive backboard to start this game.
Boy, the wheels have definitely fallen off in this quarter. He cannot buy one.
Defensively, they've been a step slow here to start.
And so Van Vliet will bring it up for the Raptors, trailing by 13. Tough loss coming against Cleveland in their last game played.
And missing your free throws usually changes the complexion of a game. Certainly did in that one.
You know this, Greg. Nothing gets a crowd into the game more than a bunch of missed free throws. That's one of the worst things you can do on the road. That's an example of great defense. His teammates love that about him. Always why the shooters struggle against this guy.
Here's the bodyguard. Second shot opportunity, and the layup is good.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
And Coach Jim Boylan agreeing to a multi-year extension with the Bulls this summer, Greg.
And taking that interim tag off his title as head coach, Boylan, with over 30 years of coaching experience, afforded the opportunity to continue developing this young core.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. 2 seasons at Indiana for OG Anunoby, and the 23rd pick of the 2017 draft. Great talk about his game.
You know, NBA ready physically from day one. You know, still working for consistency with his shooting, especially at the free throw line. But I like his potential as a two-way player.
Davis.
Oh, my God.
That's how you attack. Wow.
How'd he do that?
And what a way to start this game, dominating at both ends of the floor.
And give them credit, Greg, for approaching this game with the right energy and intensity. This team has attacked every chance they've gotten.
Toronto calls timeout.
Well, think about it, guys. For years, the Raptors had been unable to translate all of that regular season success to dominance in the playoffs. But last season, they changed that narrative. Now it's, excuse me, we are the defending champion Toronto Raptors.
Now, here is Ibaka. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Cleveland.
And don't discount the defensive presence, guys. He racked up 3 blocks for the game.
Now here's Powell. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Here's Davis. And again, Toronto no up. The Bulls leading by 17. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
It's impressive, the level of domination at both ends, and you're seeing the result.
And Greg, you know this. It's not easy building a lead on the road, but this team has been lights out throughout the game.
Here's Powell. After Chicago picking up a basket just moments ago. Now here is Davis. He's guarded closely. 5 on the clock. To end the cold streak. Van Vliet can't get it to go.
And his defense so valuable. Not many can bother that shot at the rim.
Boy, you see the effort, you see the range. This guy prides himself in his ability to shut you down.
Pass to Ibaka. And that one, good. Ibaka's got his second basket of the game.
Well, there's incredible height and reach and length and touch from the inside when we're talking about Serge Ibaka.
And an overpowering first quarter effort. Already a double-digit advantage. Bulls lead by 19. We'll be back shortly, live from Toronto. Ibaka is a seasoned veteran now, a terrific role player known for his defense.
And Ibaka knows his role and plays it well.
And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And a comfortable margin for the Bulls here, guys.
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
And we know this. Every team in the league now seems to be looking to play with pace.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. So for Chicago right now, and let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, one of the reasons Toronto was able to win the NBA championship was the astronomical improvement from Pascal Siakam, who was recognized as the league's most improved player. It was the dream of Pascal's late father that he'd reach this level, and his determination to make that reality has brought him a long way from home. Kevin?
It has indeed, D.A. Great story, and thank you. Van Vliet with the bucket.
Nice touch there near the hoop.
The Bulls leading by 17. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. A lot of switching on every possession in the NBA from a defensive standpoint, and you see the way Doris offenses are adjusting to that.
Yeah, I think number one, you have to attack the switch. That's first and foremost. And it's an interesting balance between attacking and being patient. Because the one thing you're ultimately seeking in every switch is a favorable matchup for yourself. That's where a critical, thinking guard who knows where to find and put the ball is so critical to your success.
That's a good way to look at it. Now here's Van Vliet. Here's Hanamichi. Back to Van Vliet. Raptors need to get a shot up. They get it back. Let's use this break for a quick look at the squads that really made it happen on the fast break last season. In fourth, the Raptors.
I mean, this is such a tough team to deal with. You see the numbers. They would just push the ball at every opportunity.
And he makes the first. And just like his brother Powell, Marc Gasol active in humanitarian causes.
I mean, we saw him volunteering on rescue boats in the Mediterranean. Mark doing his part, but also bringing attention to that humanitarian crisis.
That one goes in. Jay's got his first points of the night.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Van Vliet kicks to Gasol. Good, and Van Vliet gets the assist.
Well, what a perimeter shot Marc Gasol has always had. For a big man, such pretty touch.
And we're about 2 minutes into the second quarter here. And it's blocked. To the middle. Here's Davis. It's hauled in by the Bulls. The Beast's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
Oh, Kevin, not a petty, not a Manny, but a facial.
Oh, a bounce to the ounce, Greg? Yeah, showing off the bunnies. And here is Van Vliet. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. It's good.
Well, great possession there. Anytime you end up at the rim with a high percentage look, perfect.
Fades away. And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
And not the most common call you'll see in the NBA, but hard to argue that pick wasn't illegal.
It is really difficult to get your feet completely set, to stay completely still. It's almost surprising to me that it isn't called more often.
Bodyguards checked in for the Beast.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
Here's Mr. Clutch. Knocks down the step-back Jay. Mr. Clutch has got his first bucket in this one.
Unwilling to let up, even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
One thing I enjoy is watching players who don't pay attention to the score. You lock in on the moment and play the right way.
Oh, that's an old-fashioned rim rattler.
Just a remarkable jam. These fans' jaws are on the ground right now. Toronto calls timeout.
Good timing. They're really struggling offensively.
Sometimes it just feels like misses become contagious. He wants to settle his guys down right now.
Siakam is checked in for Hanamichi. Cool Hands checked in for the Bulls.
Guys, how about the journey of the Raptors' Nick Nurse? So well traveled before taking the head job in Toronto. This guy has shown his worth. In his first season as a head coach in the NBA, it translates to a title. Absolutely incredible.
Now here's Gasol. Here's Boucher. And he goes in for the dunk.
It'd be nice if everybody took as much pride in his rebounding as he does.
You know what? Greg, he loves that part of the game, and it shows.
Well, but as defenders keep forgetting to box him out, he continues to just make them pay.
The bodyguard gets the 14-footer to fall. The bodyguard's got his second bucket of the game to go. And Coach Nick Nurse paid some dues, Doris, before his turn as head coach of this Toronto team.
Well, think about it. Early in his career, he's a player coach in the British Basketball League. Then he goes and establishes a G League franchise in his home state of Iowa. Then to lead that team to a title in 2011, join another G League team for the Raptors and win a title in 2013. Really an incredible journey, guys.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Some changes for Toronto. Serge Ibaka, he's checked in for Gasol. And it's Kyle Lowry in for Davis. Kyle Lowry. 1:11 left to play in the first half. Siakam misses. The Bulls leading by 18. Bulls moving the ball around.
And you can see he just has a great overall feel for this game. Excellent job tonight.
And that's been his role pretty much from the opening tip. Get the ball to guys where they can score it.
Pocket 6. In the corner, it's Van Vliet. From the wing. The shot, no good. And it's Chicago the other way. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
And in that one, the offensive execution made the difference. They found and exploited the mismatch repeatedly.
Well, it was certainly a game that their analytics people had to love breaking down. I thought they exposed every weakness in the defense.
Lowry with the ball. 17 points for him last game against the Cavaliers in Cleveland. To the left side wing. Off target from outside. And so it's Chicago, holding a 22-point lead as the quarter wraps up. Their defense has been active and effective. And we'll be back with you shortly.
The 2K Sports Halftime.
The Bulls leading by 22. Anunoby and Siakam in at the forward slots. Lowry and Powell, the guards. And it's Ibaka in at the 5, roaming the paint. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
Here's Powell, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Of course, the game is shifting towards skill and finesse, but there are those players who thrive in this league who are like bulldozers and force the issue inside.
Well, a guy like Blake Griffin, who is such a physically gifted basketball player, enters the league as one of the great dunkers, but has now added a three-point shot, still can play bully ball. But for me, the most ferocious at-the-rim scorer, and the guy who's probably most underrated aspect is his strength, is the Greek Freak. Giannis Antetokounmpo at the rim. Good luck and good night.
I don't know how you do it, right? I mean, how do you defend it?
Impossible.
Indeed. Anunoby kicks to Siakam. Chicago grabs the miss. The bodyguard's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. The pass to Cool Hands. Here in this third quarter, just over a minute play. And that one drops. He's got 12.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Well, there is nothing better than catching a rhythm as early as possible. And boy, that's a terrific start right there.
And so it looks like the Raptors will retain possession here. .90 seconds now into the second half.
Well, I guarantee you this is not what they talked about in the locker room. 0 for 3 and looking lost. Their first basket in 4 tries. Let's see if that basket gets them going. It can be contagious now.
Here's the bodyguard. No good there. Now Toronto takes it the other way. It's off to Charlotte for them after this game as they take on the Hornets. That'll be just 1 game played away from home for them. Top of the key, Siakam. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Siakam's got his second bucket.
Siakam pushing right through the contact. Go ahead, young sir.
Here's Cool Hands. From 16 feet away, he cans it.
Working against size, he's just crafty enough to carve out some wiggle room.
I'll tell you, the analytics crew may not like the mid-range, but sometimes you just got to put it in the basket.
Lowry can't get it to go.
He is too good a shooter, guys, to be left open like that. The defense just dodged a bullet there. You know, you think about the most important players in Toronto Raptors history. Vince Carter probably #1. DeMar DeRozan would be on that list. But boy, Kyle Lowry has got to be there as well. Remarkable how far they've come since he joined the team back in 2012.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, after 5 years as an assistant in Toronto, last season Nick Nurse moved to head coach of the Raptors, and the team responded, winning the franchise's first NBA championship. Nurse has been at this for 3 decades. He got his first head coaching position at the age of 23. He has moved all throughout basketball, both domestically and abroad, guiding 15 teams in 5 different countries. After winning it all last year, Kevin, he's finally made it to the top.
David, he sure has a long and winding journey. Thank you. The Raptors have gone an even 50% from the floor here in the third quarter, 4 of 8. And the Raptors and Lowry both grew together, Doris, wouldn't you say?
A marriage made in heaven. Kyle Lowry has always played with a huge chip on his shoulder. He still carries that edge, but that maturity and leadership turned into a championship in Toronto. Doesn't get better than that.
Davis has checked in for OG Anunoby. The professor's checked in for Chicago.
And the way they have controlled the glass this game, really impressive.
And bottom line, more boards means more possessions. That's how you build a lead.
Well, overall, they're the team getting the better looks here in this second half.
And I think what's happening is they're getting their shots within the flow of their offense, and you can clearly see the difference.
Toronto's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Knocked loose. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Here's the bodyguard. And the rejection by Ibaka. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Ibaka. The Raptors moving it up. Here's Powell, and the dunk by Powell.
This, to me, is where he can be lethal. In fast break situation, Norman Powell's speed's a problem.
Well, Chicago has gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. That shot off. Good D by Siakam. It's Powell on the wing. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there.
You too.
And here are the Raptors now. Siakam finds Davis. Lowry up top. Shoots. Rebound by the Bulls.
Listen, he knows he should have made that shot. We'll see if they can work it back to him in that same area. You can see it. Once this guy gets his rhythm, he is so hard to slow down. What an excellent night for him and his team.
Pass to Ibaka. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry. Lowry's got 3 assists in the game.
Well, you love how Ibaka goes right up with the shot. Doesn't hesitate for a second off the catch.
cool hands passes to the bodyguard. Siakam pulls it in. Toronto, they've gone at a pretty good shooting pace. They're 6 of 13 from the field here in the third. And Siakam throws it down.
Well, Mr. Siakam can elevate well above the rim. Nicely done.
Feet away and misses it off the right side of the rim. And so Ibaka, he'll bring it up for Toronto. Powell, the pass to Lowry. Can't hit from 12.
I tell you what, the defense should send Christmas cards for that miss.
One-on-one here. The Bulls have been perfect so far from the free throw line, 6 for 6. The first one falls, so both teams changing it up here. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Now Van Vliet. From deep. Marcus Gasol picks up the foul. That's his first foul. And so it's Chicago, having no problems at all. Up 29 points heading into the next quarter. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
And he did just that.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. So for Chicago right now, we've got the Beast, Jay out there with the Professor, and it's Mr. Clutch. No good from Gasol.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Gasol with the defensive effort.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
Boy, to have someone back there who can erase your mistakes. What a big-time asset defensively.
And a chance now to take a look at the schedule for the Chicago Bulls. On Sunday, they'll take on John Wall and the Washington Wizards. And then on Saturday, they'll be matching up against Eric Bledsoe and the Milwaukee Bucks.
And that game against the Knicks, that's going to be one where it would take a lot of errors and maybe a cold shooting night for things to go wrong. They just have that much of an advantage over that team.
Doris, you've accomplished so much in your award-winning career. What was your first experience in broadcasting?
Kevin, my first experience was I left coaching and they put Providence College women's basketball on radio. That was the first ever game I got to call. It was so cool. Tell me yours. What was the very first? Did you study this? How did you get into broadcasting?
I did. Our high school had a radio station, and the first basketball broadcast was underneath the bleachers, looking through popcorn boxes and legs of the people that were standing in the bleachers so that I could see the court from the baseline.
Amazing.
Because that's where the telephone cables were to plug in our equipment.
Wow.
I was 16 years old.
Incredible.
I remember it very well.
Incredible. Well, that possession to me highlights the importance of creating for your teammates.
Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock into it. Here's the Beast, and good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. The Beast's got his first 2 points. And there's a whistle that goes on Mr. Clutch, and that'll be his third foul so far. Doris, in 2004, the Charlotte Bobcats became the NBA's 30th team. When do you think we're going to see another team added, whether it's an expansion or even multiple expansions?
Well, let's go directly to the most important source, and that's Commissioner Adam Silver, who has said that expansion is inevitable, but right now, not a huge priority. So, you know, listen, we've heard Seattle is on the short list of cities that wants to get a team, and what a great city, what a great NBA fan base. I hope someday we get back to Seattle.
So much history up there. You're correct. Thomas finds Gasol. Here's McCall. Throws it up high. Hollis Jefferson can't hit.
And he saw the play develop, but the pass just wasn't there.
It was a really good thought for sure, but the lob has got to be better than that.
The Raptors have gone just 1 of 6 in the field to start the fourth quarter. A bit of a slowdown for them right now. To the wing right side. McCaw, the pass to Gasol. From 11 feet away. And it's Chicago with the rebound. The Professor's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Jay, boom, he jams it straight down.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
Around 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Passes it to Gasol. Looking to get back on track here. Okay, time now for an injury report.
Thanks, Kevin. I got some information from the Bulls' head athletic trainer. He told me that there are strained ligaments in the elbow, but that is it. Luckily, no major structural damage. While the season isn't very old, this is still distressing to hear, and somebody is going to have to pick up the slack while he's out. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, David. Hopefully, we'll see him very soon. And that's a foul called on the Beast. That's foul number 2 for him. Or as we know historically, the Celtics, the only franchise to ever have a 4-peat, 4 straight championships. Do you think at some point we're going to see another?
I'm not sure there can be in today's NBA, Kevin, and there are a number of different contributing factors. Number 1, the salary cap implications that happen. Number 2, look at the Golden State Warriors, who were well positioned for a 3-peat. And yet, as you know, luck plays a small part in an NBA championship. Luck relative to injuries. You see Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant both get lost in the midst of an NBA Finals. This is it's challenging enough to go back to back. Forget about 4-peat.
Here's Johnson. Shot clock at 5. And again, Toronto no luck.
Boy, you can just see the frustration growing on their faces. Nothing going their way.
It's just been one of those games, and they need to find a way to turn it around before it gets completely away from them.
It's been a pretty tough stretch for them.
And this will be an important possession. It's really essential. They put a stop to this run, and the best way to do it is by great execution.
You know, we've seen him just tear after the rebounds tonight. No fear. You have to love that effort.
Here's the Beast. And that one is good with the extra effort on the glass.
When you're trying to claw your way back into a game, you cannot allow second chance opportunities.
Well, how about the effort on the glass? Even with this lead, I love that they're still going after it.
Here's Johnson. It's blocked.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Bulls.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And every win important, and this one will go down as win number 3. And Toronto making a change here. Ibaka's checked in. Of course, here's something kind of interesting. There's been a lot of talk about moving the draft to after free agency. What would that look like?
Well, I think talent is always going to be at a premium. So I would think if there's a guy that's the absolute definitive number 1 pick, he's going number 1 regardless of roster construction. But the reality is it might help those teams who maybe if they know who's on the roster, it might change the kind of draft selection they would make. So it's an interesting supposition. We'll see if the NBA moves in that direction.
Thomas finds Hollis Jefferson. They need this. And it's Chicago with the rebound.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
We call that a great contest. You know this is something he brings to the table, the ability to anchor your defense.
Spirited performance. You love to get this kind of win, especially on the road.
You've got to be able to block out all distractions in enemy territory. This team did a tremendous job staying focused on the task at hand. Well, this is the kind of pass that gets everyone excited. It's also how you build great team chemistry.
And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time.